Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Today I wanted to talk about what's planned for Star Citizen Alpha 3.6 in a bit more detail, what's on the roadmap, what are we getting with each of its new features, and what it means for the game. Let's start with when. Alpha 3.6 is planned to be released at the end of Q2 2019, which would be the end of June. We did see 3.5 go to live just over 2 weeks later than it was supposed to, but it was available to all to test on the test servers by the end of March. With that in mind, I would expect similar with future updates. They will try to have them live by the end of each quarter, but if not, then we should have the latest PTU build available to all backers. So what's in the update? There is ongoing balance tweaks and improvements for the new flight model. This is also true of atmospheric flight, and with 3.6 there is the implementation of a hover mode for ships in gravity that makes special use of VTOL thrusters. Hover mode will vastly improve the behavior of ships flying at low speeds in gravity and atmosphere. Players will be able to manually control the state of VTOL thrusters as their ships enter that mode, where players must focus on balancing the ship as it hovers. This will make hovering more realistic and add depth to atmospheric flight gameplay. General combat, weapon balance, tweaks to items, shields, weapons, auto gimbals should all be getting a lot of love as well. They have talked about ESP being in a better state for 3.6 as well, but a lot of iteration should be done for the balance for 3.6. Getting that flight model, getting combat all dialed in a bit better. However, it's good to remember that the ship combat and flight model will require plenty of balance and iterations beyond 3.5 and 3.6 as well. Lots of the systems for ship combat, for flight, like physicalized components and bits like that, are not done yet and will not be done for some time. We should see smarter ship AI with 3D pathfinding improvements. This is tech that allows the AI to navigate in 3D space by utilizing the physics grid. The system will search and work out appropriate routes to use and take into account quantum travel. The system will scale to the size of the universe and accommodate all content and gameplay area, including asteroid fields, planets, space stations, other ships. There is a deeper lore system as well, allowing areas to be associated with specific laws that security will enforce in the form of a hierarchical jurisdictionary system suitable to each of those areas, and may specify a variety of penalties. So you might have entirely different law on Grimhex than you would on Lorville. Detection and dispatch mechanics will allow players and NPCs to appropriately hunt and make money from hunting outlaws. This should also incorporate more risk and reward into outlaw and piracy gameplay and have more reasons to play as those sort of types of character in game. At the moment, in 3.5, outlaw gameplay has expanded out a little bit, but with 3.6, it should have even more depth. This is going to be combined with the black market economy. Security forces will search for stolen and illicit items and respond appropriately, while NPCs and shops will be able to distinguish between legitimate and stolen merchandise. Again, this should allow for more reasons and money to be made by outlaws selling stolen goods in certain areas and stations. And in 3.6, those two mechanics coming together should see very different styles of gameplay in the verse, and areas like Grimhex and Levski becoming much more like outlaw havens and suitable for that type of gameplay, and I suppose for bounty hunters looking for outlaws. I am hoping that we see different types of cargo being potentially prohibited in certain areas and give you a criminal rating if you're scanned and have that aboard in certain ports or whatever. That would be a reason to make Widow and the other narcotics more valuable again. That sort of like added risk and reward would have people scanning each other's cargo bays when they come out of a jump town and that sort of thing, and then go, well, actually, they haven't got anything at the moment, or maybe this guy does, and then track him down, hunt him, make money from that. A massively important update, ship rentals, is going into 3.6 as well. The ability for players to rent ships in-game from certain stores. We have various ship stores, New Deal at Lorville, Teachers at Levski, Astro Armada at Area 18, and there's also a rental services kiosk, I believe, at Lorville Spaceport. Any of these could potentially, also have ship rentals in that patch. Though we don't know the range of ships, nor exactly how rentals will work in the Persistent Universe, it will be for limited periods, and it shouldn't be as expensive as buying, obviously. So it should give people a more easily attainable taste of lots of different ships and gameplay in the game. There is ongoing conversion and optimization of getting all the items and ship systems working, getting everything over to item system 2.0, getting all of these things optimized as possible in that system. But with 3.6, we have the addition of misfire events that can cause items to cease working or perform unexpectedly, and improvements to the ship systems degradation gameplay. So this is going to be tying misfire rates to the amount of wear on an item. Overheated and degraded items will have a higher chance of a misfire. The types of misfire may be different for each item. Engines might not provide thrust briefly, for example. We will see visual signs of wear on items with this update as well. Something I am particularly excited about is the new shield systems tech. This is the replacement of the legacy shield setup that we have at the moment with the new signed distance field stuff. So this is going to allow the future implementation of a more dynamic form-fitting shield. Much better visually looking is the idea, and improved performance for collision. We should see shields warping appropriately around a hull of a ship and working more appropriately with that. It should be more efficient as well performance-wise, though for 3.6 it might just be a partial implementation or the groundwork for the new signed distance field tech for shields, but hopefully we will see some of it in there. Rest stop space station improvements and variations are being made. The studio have been working on the modular space station rest stop system for a while now, adding more pieces and getting different types of station, brands, different shops and facilities, different externals, and we should start to see more obvious variations to rest stops for these space stations in 3.6. There is planned improvements to the transit systems as well, updates to doors, elevators, airlocks, and tweaks to the trains and bus system as well. There are social NPC improvements, including the bartender and civilian AI archetypes. So this is going to have more interactions for players and NPCs between each other. This will have NPCs being a bit more immersive and appropriate to landing zones, walking about doing more things, leaning on more walls, having the bartenders approach NPCs and characters to offer them drinks more appropriately. With the FPS AI, there's also cover usage improvements, expanding the cover system to correctly evaluate dynamic cover in the environment, and then have the AI move appropriately to that. Dynamic cover options include destructible objects and environmental elements that can be manipulated and used as cover. Players will be able to destroy objects in the world while NPCs are using them as cover. NPCs will detect these situations and react accordingly. This should see as well the cleaning up of NPC animation and movement associated with cover as well. And I would suspect that we would see further improvements to the collision avoidance sort of AI bits as well. New ships and weapons wise, we have the Aegis Vanguard Warden rework. This has seen a lot more work than was originally planned to the ship apparently, with most of the internals from the pilot seat back getting updates. The rear ramp on all of the Vanguards is getting unified to the one the Hoplite has, that larger ramp. We should see the Vanguard be more suitable for its intention going forward, and hopefully used more, because I have a couple. The P-72 snub luxury version of the P-52 is planned to be flyable as well. This should fit in any ship that could carry the P-52. The P-52 is also getting some updates and improvements, bringing it up to the appropriate standard. One of the ships I have been waiting for a long time as well is here, the Origin 890 Jump. This is a massively, now reportedly 195 meter long luxury super yacht. It will be the largest ship we have had officially in the Persistent Universe for players to use at that stage that it comes out anyway. There is also another mega important ship, the Banu Defender. This is going to be the gold standard for the Banu race. It was pushed back from 3.5 to 3.6. We know it's going for like a brassy, bronzy, greeny, organic tech look, and the Banu Merchantman will use this ship to develop further. It will be the sort of like standard for all of the Banu race and all the ships going forward with them. They are adding some Maxox NN series neutron repeaters for ship weapons too. In regard to FPS weapons, we have the Apocalypse Arms Animus missile launcher, a personal missile launcher in game. It looks like it's going to be a similar size to the railgun. This should help bridge the gap between infantry, vehicle, and ship weapons and fights on the ground and all that sort of jazz. Very much looking forward to a missile launcher. There's also going to be a bearing S38 pistol, but nothing too special there, at least nothing I've seen yet. We are getting weapon attachments. This will see the customization of FPS weapons in real time. You'll be able to look at your weapon and put different attachments onto your guns, such as scopes and grips. Most recently, actually, they've suggested that this will be underbarrel, barrel, sights, and magazines all being changeable. They are developing the look, feel, and depth of player item handling and carryables. We will see dynamic grips based on the item we're picking up, and several new types of item to pick up and place. Obviously, weapon attachments are sort of part of that, examining a weapon and then putting a part on it. Helmets also being potentially something else that we can take off, carry, move around, place. This is a prerequisite of physicalized inventories, I believe, as well. It's likely this will allow for more customization of player habs in the shorter term. They are improving the look and feel of the current player jump mechanic, including falling and landing, with new animation, time warping tech that reduces the number of individual animations, making it look better. There is first-person helmet, visor, and HUD improvements to provide more intuitive and immersive experiences. We do know that they're going through and updating and improving and reworking a lot, if not all, of the HUDs throughout the game in preparation for Squadron 42 Episode 1 being complete, and then getting those sort of like HUDs finalized for that. Player free look is also being added here, introducing the ability for players to look away from their weapon while aiming. So this gives them more situational awareness and keeps their weapon trained on a known threat. They're improving ragdoll and body properties, such as joints, limbs, collisions, and other physical parameters to make simulations react appropriately in all situations for bodies and these sort of like more soft deformations, including zero-G bodies and ragdolls for that. There are two major planned server and client improvements that should be seen as working towards server-side object container streaming as well, I suppose. The client-to-server actor networking rework with improvements to the upstream part of the actor networking responsible for communicating player actions from the local client to the server. This will pave the way for downstream improvements and solve a variety of validation issues. Asynchronous disconnect refactor is the other one. This refactor aims to improve efficiency and usability of the asynchronous disconnection code. Refactoring this will clean up a lot of bugs and infinite loading screens, server crashes, client crashes, while also helping to assure that more of these issues don't occur in the future. There's a variety of improvements planned for planetary tech as well. Planetary ground fog tech will create varying layers of fog on top of planetary terrain to further intensify local ambience and create a sense of visual depth. There's distribution and ecosystem improvements. This is sort of like the unification of terrain and distribution maps, improvements to ecosystem modeling, and several improvements to terrain blending. We also have harvestable entity spawning. This is sort of like more important for the economy of the game going forward, and allows for an automated system to spawn harvestable entities on planets, moons, and asteroid fields. I suspect this will be tied into the sort of like subsumption and grand AI system eventually, working out where to spawn things, when to spawn them, helping build the economy. There are some other bits that we haven't discussed that have been talked about in the recent monthly report as well. So there are plans for updates to the character customizer for 3.6, focusing on layout and functionality tweaks. What exactly will be added and improved remains to be seen though. We know there are various back-end updates for 3.6 as well, with the content management system, upgraded voice servers, and a lot of game service optimization that should all make it in as well. They might be pushing for server-side object container streaming as well, because really they need it before they expand out any more gameplay area in Star Citizen, though it might be something they're holding back for 3.7 or 3.8. We'll have to wait and see. There is typically some movement of features closer to release as well, so we could certainly see that with 3.6. However, with the concerted, focused approach on features that are both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen Persistent Universe related at the moment, and a less aggressive roadmap, we could potentially see more and not less, or probably more likely a bit of both. Some movement, some extra new little features moving in, some splitting of features. Nothing specific there at the moment on the roadmap. Looks to me like it could be particularly in peril at the moment, but we will know more in the future. Please tell me if you are looking forward to a particular feature in 3.6 or a future patch in the comments below. Or do you think certain features will slip to 3.7? If So what do you think we will see a similar delay in the live build with 3.6 as we saw with 3.5, or will they get it out on time? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. Every month we have a giveaway for a Star Citizen ship. For April 2019, we are giving away a Drake Corsair with lifetime insurance. It's the new concept ship focused on exploration, and the loaner for that ship is currently the Constellation Aquila and the Buccaneer. To be in for a chance of winning, be subscribed to my channel and comment on any video that I put out during April. Full details in the description below. Need a PC or upgrade to play Star Citizen? Consider Shadow. Shadow is a cloud-based subscription alternative to a gaming PC, and it works with Star Citizen Alpha 3.5 better than it ever has. It leverages the power of the internet to give you a Windows 10 gaming environment, potentially anywhere. Check out the links below or go to shadow.tech for more information. Use the code BoredGamer to receive a discount on your subscription if you do decide to try it. I'm not sponsored or paid by Cloud Imperium in any way. This is a Star Citizen news and fan channel that is supported by you, the community. Patrons, donations, subscriber stars, YouTube members, that little join button underneath my videos, all help support the channel and allow me to create regular video content, maintain a website, upload podcasts, and more. If you wish to go that extra mile, it is amazingly helpful. There is occasional exclusive content for those that do as well.